Welcome to
Thugging It Out
with
your girl Brash
and Chani Louise, and I would like to take this moment to make the obvious statement that out of the two of us, I am the thug in Thug It Out.
Side-eye.
There's no side eye. I am the thug. I will shank a bitch.
Are you sure?
I'll put her down.
With my words, man. Yeah, sure, okay. You are the thuggish ruggish. What?
I'm the thuggish ruggish bunch.
It's not even bunch, it's bone. The word is bone. You thug card revoked. Okay, welcome.
Hey. You can't see the leg cross, but that's what I did. Hey y'all, how you doing?
We hope well. I'm
Chani Louise, whatever.
I am the Brash, and thank you for joining us yet again for another intriguing and interesting episode of
Thugging It Out.
Thugging It Out podcast. Yes. Today we are talking about friend zone and exes. Yikes. Let's get into it. Do you want to dive in with the first question?
I would like to ask the first question because I posed this question to my guy this morning.
Ooh.
And we did not agree.
Ooh. Okay, let's hear it.
Do you think the friend zone is bestowed or self-inflicted?
It's self-inflicted.
Thank you.
Absolutely
So what the fuck
self-inflicted.
I said.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, you have to reflect. That's going to be the word of the month. Reflect on what you did to deserve to be put in the friend zone.
See, you had me and then you lost me.
Because listen, if you, let's just say, because friend zones are boundaries, right?
Okay.
Can we agree on that?
I'm going to see where you going before I say this.
Okay, if we can agree that friend zones are boundaries, you had to have overstepped my shit to slide in that friend zone, right? So therefore, what the fuck did you do to get in there? Like, now you're trapped in the friend zone because you went into the friend zone, but nobody told you to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
What is this face?
This is the face, knowing what you're saying, understanding what you're saying, seeing it from a completely different perspective.
Okay.
I believe the friend zone is self-inflicted. And I say that because, from one perspective, if you came into whatever this is with the intention of being with me, and I tell you that I don't want you, whether it's a boundary crossed or I just don't like you in that manner,
okay,
you placed yourself in the friend zone the second you decided to continue liking me and not say, you know what, I'm going to step back.
I would agree with that as well. So then I think we're getting into what is the criteria to be in the friend zone. And since we have agreed that it is self-inflicted.
Right. I also think that the friend zone can be predatory. Because per what a lot of society says and per some of the experiences that I've had, the friend zone is, if you're in a relationship, the friend zone is full of men who are waiting for your relationship to fail so they can pounce.
Well, hold on. Because we're going too fast. Let's back it up a little bit.
Okay.
So we were hashing out what puts people in the friend zone, correct?
Yes, self-inflicted.
I think, yes. This is a self-inflicted phenomena. So for all the men out there who are like, oh my God, help me, I'm in the friend zone. No, thank you. And you took the bus there. You got off at that stop, and that's where you're going to be.
And the friend zone is not... Having someone of the opposite sex be in the friend zone is not the same as having a friend of the opposite sex.
Yes, I would agree, even though I don't have friends of...
Well,
I do have one. There's one.
There you go. Two. Work.
Oh, two. Okay. We're racking them up.
She was like,
I said, who are you dragging to?
So, no, I consider the friend zone different from a friendship. And I feel like what separates the friend zone from friendship is your attitude, intentions for me.
Okay.
Because I have male friends who don't intend to get with me. And therefore they are friends. Right? Yeah. And even so, I believe, and I feel like any man who listens to this episode is going to be like, Chani Louise done lost her motherfucking man.
Lose it, child. Sing it.
I thoroughly believe, because this goes into the exes question a little bit. I thoroughly believe that, like, we can meet, you can voice your intentions, I can tell you no.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll be like, cool, I respect your decision. We stay friends while you pursue whatever you want to pursue and I pursue whatever I want to pursue. And that is a friendship.
Yes, I would agree.
But if we become friends, whatever, I tell you I'm not interested, and you have convinced yourself that you can change my mind.
Baby, first of all,
that is you placing yourself in the friend zone, because you could have either respected my boundary, like you said, and moved on, or you could have gotten the fuck up out of there.
Can we talk about how insane this idea is and how audacious it is?
That's why I call it predatory, because you don't actually want to be my friend. You just want to conquer something that you cannot
I will
receive.
say, too, it is predatory on the opposite end, too, because you also have people who are, like... I was going to say predicating, but I feel like that's the wrong word. Anyway, you have people who are digging and diving into, like digging into their friend zone just as a safety net.
Yes.
And it's a safety mechanism. So, if it doesn't work out with such and such and such and such, I know, Marky Mark over here is still going to want to, ride or whatever the case is. So, I feel like it is a predatory space. But I think the distinction between understanding, are you a member here or you're a visitor? Like, are you in the friend zone because you did some slick shit and now you're looking stupid? Or are you in a friend zone? And can we maturely handle a friendship at this point?
And even with the people where you said, like, because the argument was made this morning that, like, no, there are women who throw dudes in the friend zone and they're super nice to them and they use them for this and they use them for that. And I said, I'm not going to tell you that's not true, because I know some people who use people for
I had a kid ask me how to do that just the other day. I said...
Not how to do it.
Oh, not how to do that. I didn't mean to say that like that.
How you use somebody?
I did have a child ask me that. But I also had a child ask me, was it okay? Like, was it wrong for her to do X, Y, and Z in the intent with whatever? And I, half the time, when I'm quiet, it's because I just don't know how to lie. So I just looked at her like I didn't know what she was talking about. But, like, like, you're bringing up a truth. Like, it's not But even then, if I put you in a place where I'm only using you for dinner, where I'm only using you for movies, where I'm only using you to pay for my drinks. Or sex.
And you're aware of the fact that you're not getting what you want out of this relationship, and you're aware of the fact that you have been friend zoned, you have the ability to leave, baby. Nobody's chaining you to me.
I think that's what we don't understand enough of, is that everything is a choice.
Yes.
But also understanding, too, as someone who has suffered from this a lot, like, people... Sorry, I just had a perfect example. So people will not acknowledge or not give you options.
Yes.
But that does not negate the fact that you still have a choice. An
option, yes.
Right? Case in point, I despise this. I've learned to not like it. And when I say, like...
No, you've learned to not like it.
I've learned to not like it, because I've never experienced this on this much at this level, right?
Okay.
I have been in conversation with someone who will ask you a question in a way that does not make no an option.
There you go.
Right? So it'll be like, hand me that thing over there.
No.
Right? But it'll be like, well, what? Because I want to... Right. Instead of it being a conversation or, hey, could you get me? Do you feel like, would you mind? I have I have no choice. But little do you know, baby, I'm going to make a way. I'm going with God, and He made the way, baby, and I'm going to follow it. So, at the end of the day, like, it's like it became a conversation of why do you do that way? What are you talking about? You're saying things in a way that doesn't acknowledge the fact that I have a choice. But even though you're not, even with the text message conversation that I showed you, like, you cannot bombard your way into the, like, let me just paint this picture. Sorry, I'm getting too excited.
But wait, can I just,
yes.
I want to highlight something that you said that I absolutely love. And if you hadn't just said it, I would have stole it and put it as a nugget. So we're going to do a
free nugget, right? Free nugget here.
Just because it feels like you don't have options doesn't mean you don't have a choice.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that.
Because it stems from this, like, I don't want to do that. Like, it's like a no is a complete sentence type of thing, right? No. Oh, but why did you? No.
No is a complete sentence.
No. I've even started to say, I've given you my answer already, and it's not changing.
Thank you.
Because I need you to understand that you're trying to, you have the audacity right now, and you're trying to change some shit that's unchangeable.
Yes.
Okay, I was in context. I was in conversation with somebody today, even this morning, wanting to hang out. I said, okay, no, I'm not, like, not today, it's too busy. I have too many things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I'm in the area. I don't know if that changes. It doesn't.
I still got things to do.
Baby. You still can't come over. But this is also, like, somebody who has, for all intent and purposes, been friend zoned at this point because you've shown me that I cannot necessarily, the compatibility is not there.
Right.
But now, like you're saying, you're choosing now to be entertained in this friend zone. My attention to that friend zone is going to still be my attention to that friend zone. It's not changing because you're in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not changing because you're in there, babes. Like, if you want to be a collectible, by all means, go ahead and be a collectible.
But you understand you staying on that shelf.
You stand on that shelf. I might come and dust you off every now and again. And by that, I mean say hello. But, like, other than that, no. Like, so it is a conversation that needs to be had, I think, on a larger scale because I'm not choosing this for you. You've made choices and you're dealing with the consequences of your actions at this point. Mm-hmm. And now you're upset because where you landed is not where you wanted to be, but you didn't reflect that whole time. Right. Now you're looking back. Mm-hmm. You trying to spin a block, but it's a gated community and you don't got the code. So, and I'm not home.
So talk about spinning a block. This is friend zone and exes. And so my question, I'm not going to ask you if you think you should try again with your ex. Yeah. But I do want to know, do you think that it's possible to be friends with and or maintain contact with an ex?
I think it's possible if that's what y'all choose to do. I think it's always it's always the choice of both people involved. Because like you cannot, I can sit here and say I would love to be friends with my ex. Mm-hmm. We had a friendship, right? However, the friendship that I had might not be the same friendship that he had. Mm-hmm. Like, the experience that I had in our friendship was my experience. Right. And so, while I would love to be like, yeah, like, oh, we could talk all day. Like, we could be friends. Yeah, I don't mind supporting him and all the other jazz. It may not be the same. Mm-hmm. And so, I feel like I can say yes, but that even might shift for me. And I could be that person that's like, no, it hurts too much to look at you. Like, I can't see your name pop up or whatever the case is. So, I think it's all in context of choices and conversations. And I think that we need to do a lot more of, like addressing and acknowledging both, because we do ourselves and the relationships that we build with other people a disservice when we don't let each other show up as our full self and when we don't allow each other to make a decision. Like, okay, you did this, but I don't like it. So are we going to work toward this? Are we going to work on it together, or are you just not willing to change it? Are we separate? Like, like those hard conversations that people are trying not to have are the exact conversations that need to be had every fucking day.
It's always those conversations they're not willing to have that it's just like,
yes.
Remember that thing that you don't want to say? Say it right now.
Say it with your whole fucking chest. With your whole chest. Because who's going to stop you?
Right.
It's like this fear of, I don't want to upset her. I'm going to be honest. I walk hard as hell. You can hear me stumbling, tumbling down the damn hallway before I even hit the flow. Okay? Absolutely. So I am not walking on eggshells or on my twinkle toes for no goddamn body. Not one. Mm-hmm. Now, I can frame it in a way, if I care about you, I will frame it in a way, and I will take all day to do it. I'll frame it in a way that's not going to hurt your feelings as much. Mm-hmm. And when I say I'm going to take my time, I'm going to take my time. Because the goal there is not to hurt anybody, right? But at the end of the day, like, that doesn't mean that I'm not choosing, like, I'm choosing the relationship over the fact that, like, your feelings might get hurt. Mm-hmm. Nope, I'm sorry, it needs to happen, right? So I just feel like, that's my go-to answer. Like, I think it just depends on the people and that conversation that they have with one another.
I also feel like it depends on how the relationship ended, and what kind of relationship it was.
I would push, and this is a challenge for anybody who's willing to accept. I would challenge people to have a conversation even after. I'd like, only because I practiced it, right? Mm-hmm. And it did help me get a lot more of a perspective of the truth, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Because you have your side of the story. You have the other person's side of the story. Mm-hmm. You have what's in the middle, right? Or what both of you have interpreted from. And I feel like if you can't sit down and at the very least hear somebody else's perspective on what the fuck happened between you and them, you cannot be their friend. And if you can't sit and hold yourself accountable for the hurt you may have caused on somebody else, or hold them accountable for the hurt they caused you, you cannot be friends. Those are elements of friendship that I find to be very necessary.
Right.
And so, like, not only does it depend on like the elements and dynamics of like your interactions in your relationship, but it also depends on what type of person that is. I'm sorry if I dated you and you was a musty, stanky, funky ass person. I don't want you to be my friend
at all.
If you as a janky person, I don't want you to be in my circle, baby. If you know that you're out here just left and right, mollywopping people's best interest, like, you know, like, come on, I don't want to be friends with you. Or if you have grown into a person that I no longer like, you know what I mean? It all of those things take front seat in the consideration boat. Like, you need to, it's an active conversation.
Are you comfortable with your significant other being friends with their ex?
I am, as long as it does not. And I feel like at that point, if we're significant others, I'm okay with it. Now, don't put me in no drama. And I say that with my whole chest, because at the end of the day, like, let's be clear with one another. Like, let's not sit here and play this game. Because if that's what we're doing, baby, we could do that too. Mm-hmm. But, like, again, it comes down to conversations and understanding what page we're on. Because if I'm like if I'm saying I'm here for a polyamorous relationship and that's not something you want to do, that's probably not the, you know what I'm saying? That's not a conversation. Like, okay, now we have to figure out what we are about to do. But yeah, the conversation is always necessary.
Okay.
My question is, so I'll preface this first.
Okay.
I believe that people get friend zoned or X'd out if they are unable to add to you, right? Okay. That's one of the reasons, right? What would you consider to be added to? Like, how can somebody add to you? And then on the other side of that, what do you want added to you if it's not being added already?
So we're asking about what I want?
What you want and how like what it would look like, I guess.
So what I want and what I need is somebody who can take care of me emotionally, and someone that I can be and express my feminine traits around. I need somebody that makes me feel seen, even though I don't like being seen. Like, I need somebody who makes me comfortable being seen, being heard, and I feel safe around. I spent so much time and so much of my life feeling unsafe. That is just, I need to be able to feel safe. Like, I need to be able to let my guard down. I need to be able to be fucking weird. Like, I need that space. I spent years not feeling safe or with the people that I was closest to, that I need that safety. If I can't feel safe around you, you're not even going in the friend zone. You can just stop talking to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, there are friends that I feel a level of safety with. Like, I feel safe with you on this thing, and I feel safe with this guy on this thing, or this girl on this thing. But if I just don't feel safe, i.e. our fucking coworker, you can go.
Mm-hmm. You need to leave.
Like,
there's the door, right?
So, like, that's what it is. If I don't feel safe around you at all, you're not even going in the friend zone, you're dipping out. But, like, for the friend zone, it's just a matter, if I don't want you, and I told you I don't want you, like, my friend zone is empty. Because even now, like, my friend zone is empty because if I told you I'm not trying to be with you and you're still making attempts at some shit I told you was not happening, stop talking to me.
Oh, that's real.
Stop.
That's real. It's not
that's uncomfortable because now I know when we hang out, you are hoping that I change my mind. Now I know when you call me or when you text me, you're trying to change my mind. And I'm not here for it.
It's people, I'll say it like this. I feel like people like that end up getting ghosted. And those are the people who are like, oh my God, ghosting is so trash. No, ghosting happens when you don't know how to mind your motherfucking business.
I tried to tell you.
And stay in your place, baby. You move in L's and you trying to go diagonal. Stop.
And it's like, you ghosted me. No. You feel like you got ghosted because you missed the announcement of the death of this friendship.
Not only that, but it's also the fact of, like, if I'm constantly having to hold you accountable after bumping into my boundary on multiple occasions, like, this is the same boundary, baby. They moved.
It hasn't moved.
And I got to constantly have this conversation with you. I'm not going to keep talking to you. I'm pulling the mama card. I'm not about to keep talking to you. I'm not one of your little friends. I'm going to go do something else. And I hope, like, whatever you got going, I hope it wraps itself up and do whatever you need to do.
I thoroughly do believe that the friend zone exists, but I ain't got one. Cause stop talking to me.
I try that, yeah.
Especially if I am in a relationship.
No, that's
because
real.
now what you're doing is you're not just disrespecting my boundary, you're disrespecting my significant other. And what the fuck you're not gonna do is come for me and mine.
I feel like I tried to have friendships with people who had been in my friend zone, but again, I had to just end up.
It don't work.
It don't work.
It don't work
because they're like crabs in a barrel, and they just be like, and I'm just like,
and it's like they say, the reason why crabs in a barrel like pull on each other is because they don't belong there. Which means, baby, you don't belong here. You don't. You can go.
And I consider myself to be a very direct person. If nothing else, I'm direct. I'm going to say what I want to say.
Right.
I might not say it when I want to say it because I'm going to say it nonetheless, right? But, like, I don't think people process shit at all. Like, at all. I don't think people think. I don't think people understand what it looks like or feels like to not be them, you know? Because I feel like a lot of interactions that I've been even observing lately are very, like, reactionary. It's like you didn't do that with any intention at all. Right. Did you think about that before you did that?
Why would I think about things?
Which leads me to my next question. What's the weirdest thing someone did to you to get friend zoned?
The weirdest thing somebody has done to me?
Or at all.
To get friend zoned? I don't...
Or one maybe that you remember the most prominently.
I've been friend zoned more than I've had a friend zone.
Interesting. That's also one of my questions.
I've been girl.
I have never been friend zoned to my knowledge.
Oh, girl.
I don't think I've ever really been friend zoned.
Multiple times.
But that may be because I don't pursue anyone.
No. I don't. My issue is I did not have any value in self. And so it was the friend zone where I was getting crumbs when I deserved the whole cake. Heard. And I was content with the crumbs that I was getting because at least somebody was showing me attention.
Okay, but I wouldn't consider that. Okay, so your friend zone, you were a part of the predatory friend zone, is what you're saying. Yes. Okay, heard.
I was a part of that because it was one of those things where it's like, well, at least you're still, and it's not even just like I'm sitting here. It wasn't that I was hoping you break up with your girlfriend so that way you could have me. It wasn't that situation. In one of the situations that I'm talking about, like, I helped this nigga figure out how to ask the girl. Like, he wasn't even with the girl yet. Right. And I helped him ask her out. Ooh, like, okay, sure. I helped, like, it was, and it's just, in another situation, I was getting absolute crumbs. And it's a matter of, like, you know, I need to get this, and this in order before I can be with you. Cool. You got those 3 things in order. Child. Well, you know, I would really like to have this. Okay, now you have it. Well, you know, like, it was always something else. And then when he ran out of excuses for us to not be together, he just stopped. Like, he was never consistent. And then when he became somehow even more inconsistent. And so I don't want to say that I stood in that friend zone, but I kept visiting. Got it. Because within the multiple friend zones that I've been in, I have relationships. So I'll, like, talk to you, be friends with you, blah, blah, blah. I get friend zoned. Cool. Like, I don't even want to call it a friend zone because, like I said, like, I helped him ask the girl that he really wanted out. I mean, but it could, and I wasn't sitting here like, when you break up with her, you'll be with me. But I don't think that defines it. I still went into other relationships. I was still talking to people. I was still dating. But it's the fact that in every friend zone situation I have, they informed me that if I would be with you if. Like, it was always the conversation of, like, you know, if I have A, B, C, X, Y, Z, then I would be with you. And I'd be like, that's interesting, but you don't have that, so stop talking. And I would dip out, and it would be like a check-in. At that point. But right now, I ain't in no friend zones. I ain't got no friend zone. I ain't got no end zone. We ain't playing no game. I ain't got it.
The zones.
You say you ain't never been friend zone?
I cannot recall a time that I've been friend zoned. But I don't pursue people. So I barely go outside.
That's an accurate
I don't pursue
statement.
people. I don't even know how to frame it because it doesn't happen.
And that's the thing. I don't pursue, and that's what's weird about the friend zones that I was in, because I don't pursue people either. They pursued me. I showed interest, and now all of a sudden you have all these reasons why we can't be together. Nigga, you came over here.
Even those instances, though, like, I've had people, I mean, it could also be the fact that I was in a very long relationship for majority of my, like, dating life. Mm-hmm. So I don't have a lot of, like, experience with, like I said, I don't have a lot of male friends because I just don't talk to males. Like, I don't fucking know.
And I have mostly male friends.
But it's not on purpose. Yeah. It's not like I'm like, oh my God, there's a male. Let's get out of here. And then also, I forgot where I was going, but I don't think I've ever really been friend zoned, but I do believe that stems from me not, like, it's hard for me to take people seriously sometimes. Mm-hmm. I don't even know when people are flirting. Case in point, when that nigga was trying to in the beauty supply. So I'm like,
this nigga.
I feel like we've told this story already.
He called her baby.
I did not hear him.
And she was, and me and the cashier was like, baby. And she was just like, bye. What?
Okay, so I'm a very xenial person. Like, I will talk to strangers like nobody's business every fucking day, all day, right? And so he asked me a simple question. I answered it. I didn't think it was going to turn into that.
It's the fact that, first of all, let's talk about the fact that we walked in together. He saw us walk in together. And this nigga walked around me to stand between us to talk to her. And there is no space. Like, this nigga in my goddamn bubble with a fucking air cast on his goddamn ankle.
Don't come for the air cast,
to talk to her.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yes, no, it was funny. But even in that, I'm just like, okay, I literally honestly thought he worked there.
Wasn't you on crutches?
I was on crutches. I was disabled little kitty cat.
He wanted that disabled little kitty cat.
A lot of them did. But anyway. but it's interesting, like, the choice of it all, right? I feel like I never give niggas a choice to put me in a friend zone either. If they had the opportunity, like, I snatched that shit away real fast. And that goes into, like, my negative habit of cutting people off. Like, ooh, you moving a little shicey. I'm about to put you in my friend zone. I'm gonna do it before you do it to me. But then it's also, like, the confidence of knowing, like, I am, not to toot my own horn, but yes to toot my own horn. I'm a really great person.
She's a boss-ass bitch.
I am a really great person, right? And I'm doing a lot of stuff in my life, and I'm not out here fucking people up.
My next question is, give me, like, the top 2 or 3 things that your ex, because we're supposed to be doing friend zones and exes, what is the top 3 things that your ex has taught you about you?
You said top 2?
3?
3.
2 or 3.
1 is that I am hyper independent. Okay. 2 is that I am extremely self-sacrificing. Okay. 3 is that I am very stern. Like, I am, like, unapologetically me, and I didn't realize how much of that was true.
Do you see those as positives or negatives?
I started to see the hyper-independence as a negative because I feel like it creates this lone wolf mentality, and I don't feel comfortable, or sometimes I don't trust anybody at all. And most times I'm just very standoffish because I'm waiting for the moment where you prove to me that I can't trust you. With the self-sacrificing, I do count it. So it can be negative sometimes because I put everybody else before myself. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm so drained. But then I'm like, well, if you would have just said no, right? Like, if you would have just been like, I can't do that right now, I don't have the capacity, then that would have been a different conversation than you feeling drained right now, right? And then in regards to, I forgot the last one that I said.
Hyper independence, stern.
Oh, the sternness. And being unapologetically me, I always count that as a positive. Okay. And I do because I used to be very quiet and invisible, if you will. Ooh. I'm so used to hiding in the back and not even hiding, but like just blending in the back, right? But not even blending in, because everybody's always saw me. I just didn't see myself. Right. And so, to have a partner at that time who I was with, whatever. We were partners at the time. No. To have a partner at the time who could show me that without really showing me that was really powerful.
What have you learned you don't want, and what have you learned that you do want in your partner based off of previous experiences?
I don't want anybody who needs to be validated by me.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is because I've had experiences where I have to like shift and mold and dumb myself down and water myself down for you to be the big dog in the room. I don't like that. You know, like, can we both be big dogs in the room? Or can you be the big dog in this room and I be the big dog in the next? Room, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we just oscillate and you know, support each other that way? But I don't like that. I also don't like being lectured. I'm realizing I don't know if it's because I don't like to be taught. I don't think it's I don't like to be taught because I love school. I think I don't like to be lectured unsolicited. Yes. But I was on a conversation phone call with somebody and then they asked me a question, y'all.
Wait. Are you 86?
Why?
I was on the conversation phone call.
I am tired. Okay, we're not gonna talk
I was on the conversation phone call.
Okay, I was up for 24 hours yesterday. I just like to point that fucking out. 2 a.m. to 2 a.m. Okay, and it was an ugly time. I don't know why, what, or when something possessed me, but something did. And then I went to sleep for maybe 5 hours. Ew. I slept in until 7:40 this morning.
Girl, I was up at 5:45.
And I still haven't had a nap. Like, I'm just wired. So, but anyway, tell you what to say, words. But I know that I also don't. It's not that I don't like to be taught. I do like to learn new things. I love the experience of learning. I don't like to be taught in a way that makes me feel stupid. Yes. I don't like to be talked about or talked to in a way that makes me feel degraded. Yes. And while these are very bare minimum things, these are very important to me. Because at the end of the day, that is where I feel emotionally safe. If you can talk to me and interact with me in a way that can hold me accountable and all that, you know, like, lead with love. Because what the fuck, like, how you coming in here? Oh my God, your shoes is like, how you coming in here talking all of this? Nigga, who are you? And it's also, we're not even there yet. Right. I met you yesterday. Fuck is you talking about? You it's way too soon to me, Brooklyn, baby. Let me just tell you. Like, you need a couple months. Hold on. Like, so I feel like those are two things that I just want respect at its most basic.
But what does respect look like to you?
It looks like not fucking thinking you my daddy. It looks like not trying to raise me. Because I feel like that's what it always is. Like, oh, well, you could do this a little. Like, okay, hold on. Because I got my system already. And it's working just fine. Thank you. Right? But it's like, respect looks like me holding you accountable the same way you holding me accountable. You not having no fucking attitude about it. Right? It's about me matching your energy and checking you too. Because I think that's important, right? Like, matching energy is not just I'm going to give you what you're giving me back. It's like, okay, no. Right. Okay, hold on. Let me just tap you like you tap me. Right. Because it's like, okay, no, now let's do an energy check. Let's do a tone check. Because the same tone you use, I just gave it back to you. You don't like it, huh? I didn't like it either. Let's fix it. Like, but I think I'm gravitating more toward a partner who's willing to go there with me. Okay. Who's willing to be like, listen, we are upset with each other. I don't like it though. So like, let's fix it. Or someone who's willing to initiate those conversations, because it's always been me. I've always been the more emotionally intelligent person in the room. Gotcha. And I feel like I'm tired, y'all. I want to be immature too. I just want to be a real boy. Like, I'm just like sitting here, like tapping into all of my inner, like that childish energy that's inside, and just looking around and waiting for somebody to tap into. And I'm just like, I've been so embedded in this tunnel vision for so long that I have always been the adult in the room. And so what I don't want, or what I do want now, I'm trying to frame things positively. What I do want is somebody who will see it, let it live, if not encourage it more, and protect it while it's there. Okay. Like, don't make me feel awkward for being awkward, because that's just me. Like, encourage it, because it's enough fun for the both of us, and I don't care about these people in this room. Like, we can do this all day, and if they got a problem, then we gonna figure, like, let's calm down, wait, like, you know, like, we can figure it out. But like, respect me enough and trust me enough to show up for you the same way that you are like, you want me to just blindly follow you and expect you to show up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's really what it boils down to. Don't give me some shit that you ain't gonna give me back. And don't expect the world, nigga, because I am not Superwoman. Although I do a lot of different things, I am not Superwoman. And I'm not willing to bend over backwards and break my back for your ass. I'm not. I'm not. I ain't gonna do it. Get somebody else to do it. Yes. Any other questions? I don't think I have any other ones, too. I feel like I pulled something from another episode. I'm sorry. Nuggets.
You got one?
My nugget is ask before you assume. Okay? And have the fucking conversations. Have the conversations. The elephant in the room is only gonna leave when you open the goddamn door.
Thank you.
So like, stand in your boldness, stand in the audacity, be audacious, and really just ask those questions. Oh, hey, like, is there perfect thing, perfect insert. I had someone who I was talking to in a dating capacity last year sometime call me and ask me in a reflective way, like, what happened between us type of thing, right? He was asking about how I had experienced him for feedback. And I was like, what is this? What kind of Twilight Zone bullshit is this? Mm-hmm. But it was a very fruitful conversation. And I feel like that if people were ready to have those conversations on a more regular basis, we would not be out here hurting on each other like we are.
Right.
We would not be hurting on each other at all, right? We would be healing a lot more. And we wouldn't be dealing with the broken, jagged edges of everybody's heart. So that's my nugget. Ask before you assume. And for y'all motherfuckers that's sitting here, I want to say predating. I know that's not a word, but I'm put out there.
Praying?
Thank you, chat. Thank you. Praying on y'all friend zones, baby. Release yourself from the shackles,
Please.
Honey. Understand that you are great enough to stand alone, and you don't need a backup plan because, baby, your plan is already in action. I think, like, I'll speak for myself. If I had a friend zone, I would use it for that because I do need a backup plan, or feel like I always need a backup plan. But, like, what would happen if you just let the backup plans go? The unknown, but that's okay, live in it. So that's my nugget. Just ask.
I would suggest that if you are, I'm saying predatory from the person in the friend zone perspective, that's disgusting. Stop. If you are someone where you realize that the relationship that you have with someone is not fulfilling, like you want to be in a relationship with them and they just don't get it, or they just don't see how great you are, it's not your responsibility to make them see how great you are. It's not. It really is. That's not your job. That's not your responsibility. That's not your expectation. Release yourself from that ridiculous.
Release that out.
Right? You are worth something. Someone will see. And it's very possible, more unlikely, but very possible that you dip out, you leave the friend zone, you leave any zone that they have for you, and you go on and you do what you need to do, and they recognize what they have lost.
We call that circling the block.
Thank you. And they find you, and whatever it is that you needed becomes what you want. Like, what you wanted becomes what you needed, and then that can work out. But they're not going to know what it's like to be without you. They're not going to know that they need you in their life if you never leave.
Yeah, it's like giving people the opportunity to miss you.
Right. And if you know that you are hypothetically in their phone as free dinner.
Oh! Or hot tots.
Or a quick drink.
Okay, gulpy, let me stop.
Or free smoke.
Ooh, hold on now, baby, because that's a name.
Just get about the phone. Don't even change your contact. Just get out the phone.
She said free smoke.
Because what are you doing? You're not fulfilling anything for you. They are getting everything out of this relationship, and you are getting hurt.
It's kind of like I always put it back to school, sorry. But, like, it's kind of like adding or dividing, right? Are you adding to me or are you dividing? Which one are you doing? Can we multiply? You can be straight subtracting from me. And that's my problem. Absolutely.
If I'm 25 and you're 7, like, it's
how many apples
for me? Right? Like, I was talking about the friend zones that I was in before, and I wasn't sitting in those friend zones hoping that they break up with their girl. But I was sitting in those friend zones consciously hurt.
But making the choice to sit
and making the choice to sit in that pain.
Yeah.
Right? Don't do that.
Don't do that, baby.
If I could be me now back then, I'd have dipped so fucking quick. If I could be who I am now back then, then I would have dipped, because there's no way. That's you. It's a self-respect piece for me.
Yeah.
And you deserve. If ain't nobody gonna respect you, you better respect you.
That is it. Like, that's it. Your longest relationship is
with
yourself.
So you can't go nowhere without you.
Baby, listen.
You ain't got to look in the mirror every morning to be in the bathroom with yourself.
And you don't, because I do it every day.
You ain't got to do nothing because you can't leave you.
That's real.
So just respect yourself. I guess that's what it is. Respect yourself.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Respect yourself, because that's what it is.
Respect yourself. Respect us and everybody in between. Respect each other and live, lead, and laugh with love.
Thank you so much for listening. I know that this was a shorter episode. We had a couple. We have a couple of shorter episodes this season.
Send in your questions, though. We would love to fill that space with answering for our coming seasons.
Send us your topics. If there's something specific that you would like for us to talk about that we haven't touched on yet, please let us know about that.
Any guest speakers that y'all want to see on the show, we would be more than willing to reach out or connect with people, with folks and voices that y'all want to hear.
Please follow us and interact with us on Instagram at Thugging It Out Podcast.
And if you haven't already, bring a thug to the show. It's the gang, okay? So invite everybody that y'all know.
And if you're listening to this on audio, we are now this season starting a video. So head on over to Evelyn Ottley Inspires.
Check us out on YouTube.
And heading over to Evelyn Ottley Inspires allows you to see us. And listen to us.
Hey now. Don't forget to check out our Instagram. A lot of good stuff be popping off on it. And you can stay abreast on all of the show news, anything that's coming out, any other announcements that we might have.
If you got any screenshots of y'all listening or pulling up the podcast, if you got any pictures of y'all listening to the podcast, if you got any clips of you reacting to something that we said, if you want to talk to us, like send us a little video or something like that on IG, please feel free to do it. We love interacting with y'all. We love hearing what you have to say.
Okay, so this is I want whoever. Okay, wait, let me get my thoughts out.
Words.
Okay, challenge for whoever gets to the end of this episode, the end of this season, right? So I want you, this is coming straight from the Brash, brain to Brash's brain.
I don't know if Chani Louise has co-signed it yet.
Well, yes, I think you will. So I want to see videos of you talking about your favorite episode and why.
Yes.
Okay, your favorite episode and why, like, that Exes and Friend Zones episode hit me because ... right? Whatever the reason is, it don't have to be long, but it should be, strong. Let's get it.
I want that, or if there is a catchphrase, it's probably coming from Brash. But if there is like a catchphrase or anything like that has gotten stuck in your head that you love using, that you have incorporated into your life. If there is a nugget where we accidentally read you for filth, I'm not gonna apologize for it.
Just say ouch.
Let us know. We would love to have all this information.
Because what you really want from a nigga.
So let us know all this information. We would love to be aware of it.
Check us out. Bye.
Bye.
See you soon.